We earn money, save money and buy things. Living beyond the economic cycle is impossible. What trends are dictated by world markets and how does it affect consumers? Watch it in People and Economy. In this episode, you will know where do the happiest people in the world live, how we can cut costs while planning a New Year party, and how people in different parts of the world celebrate the New Year. Every person has a hope to be happy, at least for a short time. In 2012, the International Day of Happiness was declared under the UN Special Resolution. It is celebrated on the 20th of March of each year. The initiative to found the Day of Happiness belongs to the Kingdom of Bhutan. This country is officially recognized as the happiest nation in the world in accordance with the gross national happiness factor used for measuring national well-being. Following in Bhutan's footsteps, people in other parts of the world have to create their own happiness by spending for festive events. Wedding is one of the most burdensome family celebrations. According to a recent report of the United Nations Fund for Population Activities, or UNFPA, the Middle East and former socialist countries have the highest wedding expenses in the world. Azerbaijan, where a wedding party costs equal to approximately 10 salaries, heads the list. It is followed by Belarus, and Russia closes the top three. According to the UN resolution, in order to achieve the global state of happiness, it is necessary to maintain economic growth by social and ecological programs.
Причин много.
There are many factors, and in particular, the way of thinking and status. Another thing is giving a good account of oneself before neighbors, loved ones, and friends.
Не знаю, соседями, там, родными, близкими, друзьями.
Throwing a celebration needs not only investment in money, but also the time of professionals and customers. The entire economic sectors that are involved include entities such as event agencies, beauty salons, as well as flower and souvenir shops. On eve of a holiday, for instance, the all-beloved New Year, these enterprises work full-time.
В связи с праздниками услуги вообще возрастают, спрос на услуги. Наращивание ресничек одно из самых популярных.
The demand for services is increasing because of holidays. For example, eyelash extension is one of the most popular services. Lamination of your own eyelashes is a new service. It gives your eyelashes natural look, which is also very fashionable nowadays. We also offer new gel colors for manicure.
Пользуется спросом мейкапы, укладки и различные маникюры. Вплоть до 31 декабря до 5 часов вечера мы работаем.
Everybody knows that gifts are an integral part of any festive event. Since recently, handmade presents are replacing factory-manufactured ones. This trend helped many craftsmen, from confectioners to souvenir manufacturers, to set up their small businesses. This is a trend of nowadays, and for the New Year celebration we use New Year's colors: blue, red and white. I'm available in social networks. Every week I find a new client. I receive most of orders on the New Year's Eve, birthdays and the 8th of March. In such places, people celebrate weddings, anniversaries, staff parties, as well as official and unofficial events, including a New Year party. We have been arranging events for 3 years. We focus on areas and banquet rooms suitable for festive events. We prepare photo zones, tables, chairs and decorate rooms. There is a great variety of decoration themes. Their primary focus is on customers' wishes and creative ideas of agency workers. Thus, only decoration of event venues will cost from 100 to 250,000 tenge. Another expenditure item apart from rental space is payment for entertainers' services. The first question we are asked at meetings with HR managers is how much do you cost? Of course, we can say that we cost 1 million or 2. Still, any price may seem high if you don't know what you take. Because of that, I first of all propose to listen to entertainers or event agencies about services they suggest. For example, prices for Santa Claus and Snow Maiden also differ. This is a vast market with a wide range of prices. Thus today, hiring a Snow Maiden may cost from 5,000 to 45,000 tenge. This is an average price because much depends upon the program presented by actors. Therefore, the price may sometimes amount to 100,000 tenge. Experts note slumping demand for event services over the last 5 years. This is not surprising because in times of crisis, people cut their costs on entertainment. According to showman Arup Valiyev, customers have first of all to think about the theme of the event and program they would like to offer for guests.
Для компании в 50 человек, я думаю, что ведущий обойдется.
But if the staff exceeds 50 people, it is worth to hire entertainers and spend your holiday on a higher level. Hiring an entertainer for a company consisting of 50 employees will cost 100 to 150,000 tenge.
Это уже более такая хорошая, интересная программа.
It is difficult to evaluate the importance of company parties in modern life. Like family celebrations, cultivate relations and foster links between family members, company parties play the same role in establishing of friendly relations within the staff. Events like these cultivate team spirit, willingness to help each other, socializing with colleagues, relaxation and resolving conflicts within the work team.
Работа ведущего в себя включает, если взять непосредственно корпоративы, то обязательно...
The entertainer's work at company parties is focused on team building because many companies face the problem of personal turnover. Company parties are arranged once a year and we try to make them as interesting as possible. We do everything to make people know each other better and have a good time.
Чтобы многие познакомились друг с другом, выпили друг с другом, что немаловажно, и провели хорошо время.
The Holiday Act of Kazakhstan provides for celebration in the country of national, public and professional holidays. The latter are working days. In total, there are 16 national and public holidays. Taking into account staff parties and family events would mean that celebrations are a serious item of expenses for company, personal and family budgets.
Это в первую очередь сфера хорика.
First of all, these are hotels, restaurants and catering. Cafes and restaurants gain maximum profit in holiday periods. However, it is very costly for households. There is no official data about holiday expenses in Kazakhstan. I think that they do not much differ from neighboring countries, like for example Kyrgyzstan. The most expensive event takes approximately 11% of annual incomes of people living in urban areas and almost 31% of people living in the country. This is quite expensive.
Находится примерно в 11% от годового дохода. В то же время в сельской местности это почти 31%. То есть это достаточно затратно.
So is it possible to cut costs on events, in particular family celebrations? Specialists think that this is a realistic objective. The most important thing is to plan all the expenses and avoid taking money from the outside, or in other words, taking loans. Indeed, arrangements of weddings and other events rates fourth in the list of reasons for taking consumer loans. In June 2017, the volume of consumer loans granted to residents of Kazakhstan increased by 2.2% and by almost 5% since the beginning of the year. During the year, it rose by almost 9% and totaled more than 2.5 trillion tenge.
Лучший способ сэкономить – это немножко менять психологию и отмечать скромнее, скажем, более...
The best way to cut costs is to change a little bit your psychology and celebrate events in a more modest way, for example with your friends and loved ones. According to economic research in various countries, some households pull out their money from investments and therefore fall into the poverty trap. The poverty trap is when households have resources only for current expenses. At the same time, other types of investment are needed that would ensure a profit. Lack of resources does make it impossible to get out of this trap.
Только на текущее потребление. То есть необходимы дополнительные доходы для инвестиционной активности, которая приносит прибыль, но из-за отсутствия ресурсов выбраться из этой ловушки невозможно.
Nevertheless, there are events that by no means can be celebrated in the family circle or among teammates. This is first of all the New Year. Traditions of celebrating the New Year date back to recent past when the winter holiday was almost the only non-ideological event in calendars of Soviet people. Therefore, the New Year in the former Soviet republics is still equated with sacred holidays. In 2017, each citizen of Kazakhstan spent on celebration of the New Year from 20,000 to 125,000 tenge. From this sum, on the average, from 20 to 50,000 was spent on the festive table. Specialists of credit organizations say that even in early December they receive hundreds of applications per day. Most of them are intended for gifts and paying for New Year celebrations. According to this survey carried out by a credit organization, most of residents of Kazakhstan confessed that they were prepared to such expenses. The reason for that was the expectation of positive changes from the approaching New Year. Because of that, the majority of respondents were unlikely to reduce their expenditure on celebration of the beloved holiday.
Если говорить про новогодние праздники, то основные затраты.
The main costs during the New Year celebration are food and drinks. Considerable amount of money is also spent on entertainments and animation. We can also save money buying an artificial New Year tree, which can be used many times. The most important advice is to hold back from visiting a restaurant and celebrate the New Year at home.
Буду в ресторан и праздновать дома.
Those citizens who made up their mind to spend holidays in the atmosphere of crowded joy may apply to special service agencies. They can also help to significantly reduce their costs for celebrations.
В 2011 году мы создали сервис коллективных покупок, назвали его Chocolifeme.
In 2011, we found a service for collective purchases and named it Chocolife.me. This name associates with chocolate life, sweet life, and so on. It reflects the idea of the service. This means that thanks to this service, users can find some new cafes and restaurants, get new impressions, and receive all that at the most favorable prices with a lot of benefits in the form of discounts, gifts, and so on. Because of that, by now we have gathered more than 1 million of users and more than 6,000 institutions that cooperate with us on a regular basis. They launch various campaigns focused on attracting of people to cafes and restaurants, offering them discounts and gifts. Therefore, our mission, on the one hand, is to increase the number of happy people and, on the other hand, to help small and medium-sized businesses by attracting new customers who help entrepreneurs to develop their business and present their goods and services to hundreds of thousands of people.
Этому бизнесу, этим предпринимателям развивать свой бизнес, выводить на новые горизонты, ну и знакомить со своими услугами и товарами миллионы или там сотни тысяч казахстанцев.
Experts note that various types of entertainments and recreational activities are especially popular nowadays. For instance, this can be visiting a theater or trips to the country.
Разнообразные варианты утренников,
There is a wide range of entertainments, such as matinees, children's New Year parties, and children's entertainment parks. Therefore, parents who want to spend their time with their children during winter holidays face a great variety of proposals, for example, visiting a theater, shows, and so on. Along with that, there are a lot of New Year gifts for your loved ones. Thus, all we know that many people have a tradition to begin a new year with new habits. For this purpose, we offer various tickets to swimming pools and fitness centers.
полугодовые.
People in Europe have a strong tradition of celebrating the New Year or Christmas in the family circle. They spend most of their money on gifts. In Italy, France, Germany and Greece, the average expenditure for winter holidays usually varies between 300 and 500 euros. Approximately 10% of this amount goes for entertainment. Traditions in Russia are different. Local people spend on entertainment are a great many of ways of celebrating the new year. Thus, you can do it in a railway coach, in the internet, in a forest, on the city square, with real Father Christmas or Santa Claus, or even at an exotic resort. For example, in Egypt on the New Year's Eve, you can meet Santa Claus in a camel